Hi, and welcome to the Reiki from the Farm podcast, brought to you by me, Pam Allen-LeBlanc from Hidden Brook Farm. I am a scientist, a businesswoman, and a licensed Reiki master teacher with the International Center for Reiki Training. Each week in this podcast, you'll be entertained as you learn about a wide variety of relevant Reiki topics, helping you become a more knowledgeable and effective Reiki practitioner. We caution you, though, this podcast may also dramatically improve your life, and we are so happy that you're here. So welcome everyone to this month's Reiki Share and this week's podcast. We are coming to you. I have Bertina here with me, and we're coming to you live from Portugal. We're over here for a month I'm here for a month. Bertina, you're here for 17 days, and my husband's here for 21 or 22 days. In a few days, he'll join us in a few days. But we're having a wonderful time and just taking a little bit of downtime, which is something I've never taken a month off before in my life. But after running politically in the election last fall, I realized I was pretty tired, and my good friend Jill Teal always takes a month off. She does it twice a year, I think. And I thought I was a little bit jealous. And one of the things that jealousy shows us is something that we want for ourselves, even if we're not aware of it. So I realized I think it's time for us to try this and take a month off. Now, something I haven't told you guys yet, but I'm hoping to get the whole month. And the reason is that I have been nominated as the Green Party candidate for the upcoming federal election in Fredericton or Oromocto. And if there is an early federal election called, I will have to head home. So let's just all send Reiki, keep our fingers crossed, and send Reiki to the election, holding off at least until April, until we can get everything together and so that I can have that month off that I've never had before in my life. So the first thing I wanted to start with today, before we even jump in, obviously, I guess I always start with letting you know what we have coming up. And I do want to let you know what is coming for courses. In April, the 5th and 6th, we have an online and in-person at the farm, Usui Holy Fire 3, or sorry, a Reiki level 1 and 2 class. That's a weekend class. Then online in the evenings, I have a Usui Holy Fire Reiki Master class, April 7th to 10th. April 12th to 13th is Animal Reiki 1 and 2. That's a weekend. It's in person and at the farm. And then that following week in the evenings is the Animal Reiki Masterclass. I also have Healthcare Reiki, which is going to be in person April 30th and May 1st at the Northeast Reiki Retreat in Silver Bay, New York, and also online May 17th to 18th. And would love to have you join us. The energy of that is just incredible. And I expect it's going to come in a little bit in our Reiki share tonight. And then for those of you who would like to join our whale class, we've got the level 1 and 2 in master class in Campobello, and we go whale watching in between on that class, but it's just a beautiful island. We'd love to share it with you. It's the summer home of Franklin and Eleanor Roosevelt. And that's August 9th to 13th, and August 16th to 20th is our Animal Reiki 1 and 2 in Masterclass. So we'd just love to have you join us for those if they work for you. And I also wanted to share with you just a few photos from Portugal since we're here. We thought we'd take you around our apartment here, or I guess it's like a townhouse that we have, but there's not much to see because it's dark out. So Bertina put together just a few photos for you. So I'm just going to go ahead and share my screen and show you just a few of the things that we've been doing since we've been here in Portugal, for those of you who are watching on video. So I think that's going to flip here in a moment. We've been having an absolutely wonderful time. We're in the Algarve, and we spent the day today in Sagres and Lagos. We've been taking the ferry and headed over to Spain. These are just a few photos from of some of the lovely things that we've been seeing and doing here, but we've really been enjoying ourselves. So here's a few more photos, and I'm managing to drive the stick shift no problem. I hadn't driven one in about 20 years. I wasn't sure if I could remember how, but actually it's like riding a bike, you don't forget. So it's working out really well. And then here's a few pictures. We actually visited a Knights Templar stronghold. And yeah, we've seen quite a lot already. And we've only been here since Sunday, last Sunday. So there, just thought we'd take you on a little excursion through to see a little bit of what we've been doing. The podcast today is about spring cleaning. It's March. The days are getting a little bit longer. It's time to clear out the clutter, whether it's spring, as it is for many of us, or some of us in the Southern Hemisphere, it's fall. These in-between seasons are the time to clear the clutter and make room for new things to come. And I've really been receiving a lot of messages around that lately. In fact, it started on January or before January, just between Christmas and New Year's, just a lot of painting at the house that needed to be done, and organizing and clearing and that sort of thing. And then I think that now it's time to really do that clearing in our bodies and get ready for that next stage, that next step that we're heading into. And so I love the those shifting seasons, the spring and the fall. And as we're coming up into eclipse season, we're coming into the equinox. There's a lot around awakening, renewal, growth. This is always a time for a fresh start, both for nature, but also with us in our lives. We are part of the earth. We're creatures of the earth. And so as nature shifts and changes, so do we. We're connected with the earth. We can't help it. We respond to the eclipses, even if we're not aware of them. We respond to the equinox. We respond to the energy of the earth. So as things are coming out of that dormancy of winter, this is really a perfect time to activate Reiki and just bring in the healing and balancing properties, that natural synergy between what's happening on the earth and what Reiki can assist us with. So while we move into the longer days, the warmer temperatures, the return of the light, the blossoming of life, it's time for and dormant plants are coming alive, animals are coming out of their hibernation, and there's just this sense of vitality happening. And even if you're on the other side of the world, you can tap into this. And Reiki is a lot like that. It's like spring. It will bring light into areas that have stagnated. It will revitalize our energy. It'll awaken our potential. It helps us align with the upward, expansive energy. But more importantly than that, or as importantly as that, it also clears away whatever no longer serves us to make space for new growth. So we're looking tonight at a little bit of letting go of the old, just like winter releases, the trees release the old leaves in the fall. And this is time to let go of whatever isn't beneficial. And that might be habits, old habits, it could be limiting beliefs, it could be emotional burdens that we've been hanging on to or carrying. But whatever it might be, Reiki is there for us to help us let it go. It will help us with this energetic detoxification, help us let go of any emotional or physical blockages. It will help us start fresh, just aligning with this natural rhythm of renewal. And as we let go of the old, that opens the opportunity for us to plant the seeds that will grow and flourish. There's a thought of a river never being the same river twice. You can cross a river in the exact same place, but you're never crossing the same river because the water has moved on. Pebbles may have shifted, but life is like that. We sometimes cling to what we have, what we had, but if we could think of ourselves and think of our lives like the river, even if we had what used to be, it wouldn't be the same. It's constantly moving. So what happens as we let go of this is it's going to give us the space to bring in new, these seeds of things that we'd like to bring in. And we can actually follow somebody else's agenda or we can follow our own. And what Reiki can help us do is just place that intention around what we want to bring in. And it can infuse these seeds, these thoughts, these ideas, these things we'd like to have in our lives with energy. And then if we also infuse it with our focus, then it's going to bring growth, always growth. And growth can be uncomfortable. I think about the children and the growing pains that they used to have when they were growing so rapidly as young people. And so we know growth can be uncomfortable, but it always tends to lead us in the right direction. And William Rand talks about the fact that it's our natural state of being to grow. Everything is always growing in one way or another. When we stop growing physically, we begin to grow emotionally and spiritually. And so it's the natural process for plants and animals and anything that lives on the earth to be in a space or state of growth. So we can also tap into the equinox energy. We're a little early for it, but just being aware that this is coming, and that's that moment of balance between day and night. And so we can tap into that balance and that harmony as we do step into the growth, and that can make it just a little bit more comfortable. And Reiki just naturally does this for us. It promotes balance, it harmonizes our physical, emotional, mental, spiritual energies, and that mirrors the natural harmony of spring as we step into our own growth. And then also, finally, we have the symbolism around the connection to the earth, our roots, and the fact that for many of us in the northern hemisphere where I am, we lose touch with or track of the earth a little bit as it gets covered with snow, and it can be more difficult to get out and about, depending on the temperatures and the iciness and so on. And so when this goes away, we remember a little better our connection to the earth. We remember the renewal, and it just brings so much hope. And I think that for a lot of reasons, we're living in a very chaotic time. And I just want to acknowledge that even being here in Europe, out of North America for a few days, Bertina and I have noticed that it just feels less chaotic. And we've stepped out of some of the chaos a little bit, but we are living in a very chaotic time. And I don't know what people who don't have Reiki, I don't know how they manage it. And I don't know if you've thought that yourself. But as we step into spring, We remember our connection to the earth. We can spend more time outdoors. We can connect with nature's cycles. This is a way to step out of that chaos and confusion if you are experiencing that. And I know that a lot of us have been. We also Reiki will help deepen our bond and our connection with the earth. It will help stabilize us. It will help ground us and just remind us that we're part of a cycle. The chaos, the confusion is a cycle. It's part of a cycle. I think it's the ending of a cycle. And just remember, I guess Reiki can just help us remember that we're all connected, we're all one. In fact, Rebecca Campbell talks about the fact that Earth is one organism and we are part of her. And so we really can't be separated from each other. Anything that impacts any one of us impacts the others. So, what are a few things we can do with Reiki that align us with spring? We can use Reiki to spring clean our energy, just letting go of that stagnant energy I was talking about, like spring cleaning for our spirit and our space. And you'll find that your outer reality always resembles your inner reality. If you'll find that as you spring clean internally, there's a good chance you're probably going to go spring clean externally and just really get into organizing your world around you as well. And I've noticed that every time that I go to a Reiki class or have a really spiritually a growth experience with Reiki, that I come home and look around and say, where did all this clutter come from? And I do a big decluttering of the house. So you may find that you're tempted to do that as you spring clean your energy. We also can use Reiki, and we're going to today in our session to focus on planting seeds of intention. And that's intention for growth. Anything that we're stepping into that's new is growth. And we can just even allow Reiki to support them as we and visualize them growing and flourishing, because Reiki will do that for us. Reiki can also really help us to open our heart and bring in a renewed sense of connection and compassion. It can balance our heart chakra. It can help us with self-love, can deepen our relationships. So if you need that today, I'm going to invite you to just form that intention. And Reiki can also, if we can get out in nature as we practice Reiki, it really connects us with that spirit of the earth that we learn about in our Reiki masterclass. And it really helps us enhance our practice and align with the season's vitality. And just talking about the spirit of the earth reminds me, I forgot to mention something about some of the classes that we have coming up. I have a few people interested in Karuna Reiki. I don't have a Karuna Reiki class scheduled. So depending on in mid-March, I'll know a little better about the timing of the election, because it is likely to be a snap election, which will be called early. And once I know that, I'm going to get in touch with them, and we're just going to arrange a time that works for all of us. And so if Karuna is on your bucket list, if you're thinking that's for people who have been at the master level for at least 6 months and are ready to take it further, I think it's probably going to be a class that we do over a few mornings or a few evenings or something like that, just depending on the people interested, their schedule. So if Karuna is on your bucket list, just send me an email and I will make sure that we chat with you as well to see that we can sort that out and fit you in. So yeah, basically, because spring is stepping us into renewal, because I really decided to go all out with renewal and come to Portugal for a whole month And again, fingers crossed, sending Reiki, that's possible. This is really what I wanted us to explore tonight. These are the cycles, the spring, summer, autumn, winter, they're metaphors for our personal journeys. And I always love to tap into that. So, one of the things that I'd like you to think about with spring awakening and new beginnings before we move into our meditation, and you can take a few moments with a journal or to write some notes or do some automatic writing if you'd like, is that after the stillness of winter and the earth awakening, seeds sprout. What are some of the new opportunities or goals that you're ready to cultivate in your life? I'm just going to give you a few minutes to think about that. And then just remembering or considering that, just being willing to step into the energy of renewal, physical renewal. Reiki can help us recharge and rejuvenate our body, promoting healing and vitality by releasing the stagnant energies, boosting our natural healing ability, creating that deep sense of relaxation, helping us align with spring's energy. And I'd like you to think about emotional renewal. So just think physically. Are there anything, is there anything physically that I want to let go of? Have you been in a state of stress, or do you have any physical injuries or pain, or have you been struggling with not feeling your best? And just think about what you might be willing to let go of physically tonight. And then let's just take a moment to consider emotionally what we would like to release and let go of. Any past wounds, any emotional baggage or weight that we've been carrying, any stress or fear, sadness or anger. Is there anything around our heart chakra that might be preventing it from functioning optimally? Is there anything that is getting in the way of your optimism, your hope? Has any of this chaos been getting to you? Have you been feeling overwhelmed with it, as I sometimes was? Is there anything that's holding you back? And just give that a few minutes to think. Just what do I want to release emotionally? And now let's just give a little bit of thought to our spiritual renewal tonight. we have an opportunity to connect more deeply with our higher selves, with the earth, with the universe, to be open to new possibilities. We have the opportunity to enhance our intuition, recognize those opportunities for growth that maybe were covered over by some of these layers of the ways and worries of the world. We have an opportunity to connect to the flow of universal energy. We have an opportunity to uplift our spirit, embrace hope and positivity. We have an opportunity to release old patterns, outdated beliefs, habits, creating the space for new perspectives and spiritual breakthroughs. So I invite you to ask yourself, what does your spirit need right now? What does it need to let go of, and what does it need to embrace? And we'll spend a few moments here. Some of the things that we can look forward to is that as we step into the physical renewal, our bodies will heal and recharge, our emotional resilience improves, and we can step forward with more clarity and confidence. And as we release our emotional baggage, it will clear the way for spiritual insights and a deeper connection to our purpose. And as we release any spiritual obstacles or baggage, then that nurtures both our bodies and emotions. So it's this wonderful cycle that we can tap into today. And some of the things that we can do to support ourselves is our daily self Reiki. We can also set intentions with Reiki, affirmations. We can spend time with Reiki in nature. We can remember to clear our energy, cleanse our energy using Kenyoku, dry bathing, where you sweep your body, activate Reiki and sweep your body. And we can also combine Reiki with a ritual, such as what we're doing today. And so we're going to go ahead now and go into our meditation. I'm just going to invite you to go ahead and activate Reiki. You can draw your symbols in the air around you, in your hands, on your body, any symbols that you feel guided or wish to include. And if you don't have symbols, that's okay. Just send loving intentions into the space around you, and my symbols are going to be surrounding each and every one of you, whether you're here with me tonight or you're listening later. And this meditation is going to bring about an awakening to spring. It's going to allow us to use Reiki to release the old and invite that renewal, invite the new. I'd like you to think again for a moment just about what you'd wish to release. And then also consider what you would like to welcome. What seeds would you like to plant today? We could think of it as turning over the earth, getting it ready for the seeds, and then, in fact, planting those seeds and allowing them to grow. So I invite you to make yourselves comfortable. Close your eyes. Take a deep breath in. And just letting it out really slowly. We take this moment and we step outside of the chaos that often surrounds us. Just settling into this moment of stillness and possibility together. And just allowing Reiki to flow. And I invite you to begin by focusing your attention on your breath. And on every inhale, just imagine that Reiki energy is flowing into your body on your breath. And with each exhale, I invite you to just release anything heavy, stagnant, or that no longer serves you. And we're just going to breathe here together for several breaths. Just imagine roots now growing from your body deeply into the earth, anchoring you and stabilizing you, connecting you with the strength of the earth. Feel that strength and stability, that power. And as you do, just notice that the earth's energy, the energy of the spirit of the earth, is rising through these roots, grounding you and releasing any pain, any discomfort, any difficulty. Whether it's physical, mental, spiritual, or emotional. And we just let go of that mental clutter. We realize it's not ours. When there are energies cluttering our auras right now, we release it with love back to the source from which it came. And just breathe deeply. With clear, clean aura. Now I invite you to bring your awareness to thoughts of spring, of renewal. Picturing the earth as it awakens. Imagine buds on trees, flowers in their bloom, not yet open, but full of potential and possibility. Think of the warmth of the sun. Just imagine and invite the energy of spring to surround you now. And just filling you with light and growth and possibility. And we'll stay here together for a while. Connecting with your potential. Now imagine a beautiful green light, the color of spring, of renewal and growth, just flowing into your heart now. And as it does, just allow it to expand and expand outward with every breath. And as it expands, it begins filling your body with vitality and hope. And we'll breathe here together for some time. there are any injuries or blockages in the heart area, just allow that green light to dissolve them, heal them, let them go. Now, from this space of potential and possibility, I invite you to consider or think about one or two of the intentions for growth that you formed for yourself for this season. It might be a personal goal, an emotional shift, a spiritual intention, aspiration. Imagine that these intentions are seeds in your hands. Maybe they look like apple seeds or pumpkin seeds. And then as you hold them in your hands, just imagine that these seeds begin to glow with Reiki energy. I invite you to place or plant the seeds in that rich soil of your heart, that soil that you've just turned over and prepared for them. And as you plant them, you know that they're nurtured by the warmth of the sun, Reiki, the nourishment of the spirit of the earth, and this flow of Reiki. And just trust that they'll grow in perfect timing. And we're going to remain here, just tending to those seeds, allowing them to cultivate, set up roots, and begin to grow. as our hearts are filled with renewal, just imagine sending this beautiful energy outward into the world. Imagine it moving and flowing to your loved ones. Imagine sending this loving energy of renewal, hope, restoration to the people in your community, your friends. Imagine sending it to all of the people in your province or your state or your territory. And then all of the people in your country. Imagine this energy expanding across the entire earth and creation. And imagine it moving into the earth itself. And as it does, it offers love and healing and growth to all of the beings on the planet. And you might wish to just repeat silently to yourself, I align with the energy of Reiki and the energy of spring. I grow with grace and ease, mentally, physically, spiritually, emotionally. And I share this renewal with the world. And we'll remain here. I invite you to take as long as you'd like to come back. When you feel ready, just to bring your focus and your attention to your eyes. Slowly open them and return. Take a moment to say thank you to yourself. For this practice in the earth and for the abundant energy of renewal. Remember that as the earth gets chaotic, you can return to this place at any time, either by listening to a podcast or just conjuring it in your mind. But I invite you to bring this sense of growth and possibility with you, and to just touch base with it through the day. Thank you for joining me here today. I'm excited to see what those seedlings turn into for each and every one of you. Namaste.
Thank you, Pam.